Hey, I'm Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance. This is NME.com. I think I actually knew it was going to work in some weird way. I could tell by the very first official practice, which is the one where we had Mikey finally come in and play bass, and we were basically kind of a full band at that point, more or less. I actually knew right away. You kind of feel it in your stomach. I don't know if other bands that have made it feel it when they have that practice, when they write those first songs, but I had a very strong feeling about it, and I just believed in it. I knew it was going to work. Why did I want to be in a band? It was kind of a secret passion. I had been an artist for a while, and then there was these tragic events that happened to everybody, and it made me realize that I wanted to do something with substance. So I turned to music because it was this kind of secret passion I had, and I said, let me just try it. I may get hit by a bus tomorrow, so let me see what it's like. I don't want to spend my whole life regretting not ever starting a band. And so that's what made me want to start it, but how I knew it was special was a gut feeling. I think that had that effect on anybody. I think it was just how they interpreted that effect. I think especially the people that were New Yorkers, they had that effect on them. People got married, had kids after that. People got divorced, didn't have kids after that. They made all kinds of crazy decisions. They changed their lives. That whole thing changed everybody's lives. Like being in this band and being in a band that like people have heard of doesn't change the fact that you know that you're not cool, and I think it's becoming comfortable with that. That's great. I almost hate everything that's cool. I never want to be cool. Well, I had a moment in Australia where on Big Day Out tour. It was a really tough tour for us. We only had really befriended a few people, like the Killers and Muse, and then the rest of the vibe on the tour kind of just felt like we were the kids in the back of the class wearing black that nobody wanted to hang out with. That we didn't have pointy shoes. We weren't cool enough to hang out. And it was before the biggest show on the tour. And I was washing my face in the sink. I looked in the mirror and I was like, "You're still uncool." And I was really happy with that revelation. And you're never going to be cool, so stop trying. And I had one of the best shows of my life that day. Hey, I'm Gerard Way from My Chemical Romance. This is NME.com. The most emotional. It actually happens more often than people would probably think. It could happen literally 5-6 times on a tour. I had a lot of moments on on Project Revolution in the States with Linkin Park, which was to me the best tour for a lot of reasons. A couple of them being like really discovering yourself and your band again, and remembering what it is that made you special in the first place, feeling like you have something to prove, meeting the woman that I was going to marry. Like all these factors made every single show, all that stuff went through my head every day on stage, and I had some very intense moments. I had moments of just breaking life, throwing things, making bold claims. I really missed making bold claims. Who's better than us? Like I'd be standing in front of a spark shower yelling, who's better than us? Because right at that moment, that's what I felt like. Who's better than us right now? Making all kinds of teenage boys take their shirts off and swing over their head like animals. I had a really crazy time. I think at one point I said, a loader I was backstage on a loader. I was stretching and warming up, and some local loader said, "Hey, look, it's David Cassidy." And it kind of bummed me out. And then I was on stage and I was explaining to the crowd that a loader said, "Hey, there's David Cassidy." My answer to the crowd was basically, the big difference between me and David Cassidy is I suck way more dick than David Cassidy. So the shows went something like that every day. They were fun. I went to Japan not thinking I was coming back. This is our first trip there. This is right before I got clean. And as the story's kind of gone, I got on that plane and I packed real light. I was so addicted to self-destruction, I think more than the drugs. There's something very romantic about it. And I didn't pack anything. I packed show clothes, and they smelled awful. I smelled like I lived on the streets, and I really thought I was gonna die. I thought I wasn't coming back. Honestly, just good old-fashioned depression. you know, but heightened by alcoholic dependency and narcotic abuse. I mean, everybody gets depressed. It's totally normal. At the time, I didn't realize that, though. I thought I was really sick, and I was self-medicating, and then the medicine stopped working. And I really did think I was going to die. I think it's something that everybody goes through, and that's not to belittle the fact that some people have it worse than others, and some people can't get out of bed. I think that exists, and I think it's very serious. But I notice a lot of people think that they can solve their problems with antidepressants, and that I've noticed being a bigger issue. Like, it really strips people of who they are. Like, all your quirks, all your problems, even your depressions and your failures, that's what makes you you. There's a lot of drugs out there that'll take that away from you. I won't take anything. I barely take NyQuil if I'm sick. You know, I remember everything. I remember every single moment of the last 3.5 years. Everything. That's real interesting. 15-year-old me? I think, I don't know, I'd like to think that a 15-year-old me would think of... I was a pretty angry 15-year-old, so probably disappointed by the fact that I'd softened up quite a bit and grown up. I hung on to that for quite some time into my early 20s, being kind of angry about nothing. So I think the 15-year-old me would be disappointed in that aspect, but I think he would be very happy in the other aspects of knowing that everything's going to be okay. That I will go on to make something out of myself. I think that was my biggest fear at 15, is that I was going to be some sort of like failure or stuck, being invisible, and not making an impact. And, you know, especially like, you know, meeting somebody you love more than anything in the world and wanting to get married. I think a 15-year-old me would never have thought that possible. So I think he'd be happy to know that it all works out in the end.